It's a Fox 54 weather impact alert day. A lot underway this weekend, including Panoply at Big Spring Park and the big race at Talladega. Here's a live look out in Harvest. It's a warm Friday indeed. If you got the chance to be outdoors today, it was the perfect time because I'm hearing things are going to change soon. I'm joined now by Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, lots of fun events in store this weekend, but weather, we don't know if we're going to get much rain.
Yeah, questionable at times across all of North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, but we are finally talking about some much needed rain across the area. And I was talking about this on my Facebook early this morning and somebody kind of commented, well, of course there's rain in the forecast. It's Panoply weekend. It kind of goes without saying that Panoply equals rain. It's okay though, because we desperately need the rain, and the weekend's not going to be a complete and total wash. Now, many of us are dry. We're dry in the city of Huntsville, back into Decatur, Hartselle, heading up into Ardmore, dry across the I-65 corridor and 565, and much of Highway 72. Good news if you're waiting on somebody to get home to you this evening. Still talking about a little bit of rain back across northwest Alabama, Lauderdale, portions of Colbert down into Franklin County, Red Bay, heading up north across the Alabama-Mississippi state line back into Iuka, Mississippi. They're talking about a little bit of rain. Florence, Muscle Shoals, those folks talking about a little bit of rain a little bit further to the north up into Killen. Those folks are also talking about some rain. Now, everybody is eventually going to get a little bit of rain as we head into the later part of the evening. There is a great deal of it, even a couple of rumbles of thunder back across the state of Mississippi. All of that in some capacity is going to push its way into our neck of the woods late tonight and then early tomorrow morning. Beyond that, there are several other opportunities for rain in the forecast, and we'll discuss those here in a few minutes.
A Huntsville man we've learned faces a homicide charge following the death of an infant earlier this week. Huntsville police say they arrived at a home in the 11,000 block of Memorial Parkway in response to reports of an infant not breathing. Life-saving measures were performed on the infant at the scene. Authorities say the child taken to a hospital and later pronounced dead. Madison County coroner says that the cause of death was the result of complications of traumatic internal injuries. Officials say Mikhail Ani, the man on your screen, was with the child when they stopped breathing. After an investigation and an autopsy, police say the results indicated the child's death was the result of foul play. Ani was interviewed and arrested. He faces the charge of homicide, murder, domestic violence. Police searching for a wrong-way driver who triggered multiple wrecks on I-565. Witnesses say a silver Nissan Versa was spotted traveling the wrong way in the eastbound lanes near the Bob Wallace exit around 10 a.m. yesterday, causing several crashes and a flood of 911 calls as it continued for about 6 miles. Huntsville police lost track of the vehicle in Madison near Toyota Field. Here's a condensed version of the very dangerous situation.
Charlie 14, Charlie 19 there, eastbound 565 in Bob Wallace. There's an elderly female in a silver vehicle driving westbound and eastbound lanes. 10-9, you're 10-1. On approximately 100 miles an hour passing exit 15.
Yeah, that was police scanner. The driver, believed to be an older woman, as you might have heard, has not been found. Remarkably, no serious injuries were reported. Huntsville police say the investigation is ongoing. We've learned a woman is behind bars after a financial crimes investigation tied to missing money from a local business. The Limestone County Sheriff's Office arrested Angela Sides in connection with a case authorities say began in late February after complaints were filed involving a business employee. According to investigators, an internal audit found thousands of dollars missing from company accounts. After working with businesses and financial institutions, deputies arrested Sides. She faces 5 counts of identity theft and first-degree theft of property. She was later released on a $17,500 bond.
Today was a very disappointing day, but I'm thankful that our systems work, that we implement in our schools. I'm thankful for Mr. Coker and his team for a quick response. It's very disappointing when students make terrible decisions, one especially by bringing weapons to our campus.
You just heard from Dr. Clarence Sutton, the superintendent of Huntsville City Schools, after authorities found a gun at Grissom High School Tuesday. After up to 7 recent incidents of children bringing guns to North Alabama schools, some parents and students are concerned about school safety, but many schools across the area use OpenGate, a weapons detection system that's a little less intrusive than security like a TSA checkpoint. OpenGate has a high success rate, catching many guns in parts before they ever enter a classroom. Fox 54's Gil Baguayo sat down with the experts who implement these systems across the country.
Detecting weapons can be intrusive, hard to manage with thousands of students, and make children feel like guns are everywhere. But CHEA USA, the creators of the Open Gate Weapons Detection System, says they are.
There was a report that came out a couple of years ago at the 21st anniversary of Columbine. Back then we were manufacturing about 4.7 million guns a year. We now manufacture more than 20 million guns a year. That's a 320% increase over that time frame.
In addition, Tom McDermott with CHEA USA says relaxed concealed carry laws and smaller guns means they're more readily accessible than ever before.
Lots of kids have 2 backpacks and another bag. Girls have purses. There's musical instruments. There's athletic gear. Before you know it, that's 4,000 bags that's got to be checked.
The company's OpenGate system aims to solve that, catching guns and parts by detecting what they're made of without requiring time-intensive bag searches or X-ray technology.
It's important that they can go free-flowing and not be backed up with lines. So on the newer technology, what's now referred to as weapons detection, we're more focused on what we consider a mass casualty threat and certain types of metals that are found in those items versus every bit of metal. So we're not after, the metal in an, alloy water bottle or something.
The systems are fully customizable, allowing each school to decide which metals they want to screen in what CHEA calls a layered approach.
Iron has a very specific signature, and we can see what that is. So we're looking for that. So we're saying avoid stainless steel maybe, or avoid, aluminum, but make sure you find anything with iron in it. Now you can then use an open gate and get the students into class on time, not worrying about every little bit of metal, again, because this is a layered approach to security. We're not going to keep everything out, but let's make sure we keep out that mass casualty threat.
All that's left to do, and something CHEA treats as a top priority, is to train school staff how to use the technology effectively. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
McDermott also says school safety starts at home, with parents locking up their guns and having conversations with their children about the consequences of bringing them to class. Multiple agencies responded to a secure perimeter situation at Sheffield High School after a threat was made against a student yesterday. All Sheffield City schools were placed on the secure perimeter as authorities investigated the situation. Sheffield police say a suspect was located and identified in Franklin County. The identity of the suspect or any additional details on the situation have not been released. Huntsville City Council taking the first step toward a new tax increment financing, or TIF, district downtown. The proposed plan would center around the Von Braun Civic Center, with the council saying it could help fund future expansion and bring more business to the area. Think of a TIF like this. If a neighborhood becomes more popular and property value goes up, extra tax money from that growth stays right here to pay for new projects in that same area. Fox 54's Valentina Chalala has more.
According to Downtown Huntsville Inc. President Ron Poteet, expanding the Von Braun Civic Center could mean bigger conventions and more visitors coming downtown. That could boost hotels, restaurants, and local shops, while the increase in property value helps pay back the cost of the project over time. Poteet says this project could put Huntsville on the map for major events.
Upon completion of the expansion, it puts us in a whole nother level of competition for conventions, trade shows, and bringing a lot of visitors to Huntsville, and more specifically downtown to Huntsville, hopefully.
Look around. Every person walking by is a potential customer for business downtown. And with more conventions expected at the VBC Civic Center, business owners tell me this sidewalk could get a lot more crowded.
We get a lot of people that they come into downtown because they're like, hey, we're going to the show at the VBC.
It will highlight more of our local artisans and our local businesses.
Some may worry a TIF district could take money away from local services or businesses, but that's not how it works. The district only uses new tax revenue created by rising property values, not existing funds. How quickly property values rise will depend on how fast construction is completed, but Poteet says that increased valuation will likely happen quickly. In Huntsville, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
The proposed TIF district would cover the area surrounding the VBC, a public hearing set for May 14th, where community members can weigh in before any final decisions are made. City of Huntsville has approved a $2.3 million plan to bring 42 affordable housing units to Northwest Huntsville. The housing units will be funded through a federally funded development aimed at expanding rental options for low-income households. The city could approve the resolution that will authorize Mayor Tommy Battle to enter into an agreement for the development of New Stone Commons. The project will be supported through the Federal Home Investment Partnership Program, American Rescue Plan, Home ARP. Once New Stone Commons is completed, it will provide long-term income restricted rental units.
He's been in the healthcare environment for a long time, and I think has gained some interest in the things that we wear and the things that we do.
Special ceremony for one teen given an honorary white coat. We take you to Huntsville Hospital to meet him and learn his story. Arts and music, strawberry picking, and a little yoga too. You've got your lineup of events happening this weekend. One local boy got to become an honorary doctor today with the hospice family care team after a years-long battle with what they call a likely incurable disease. Abubak Al-Malgala has been fascinated by the medical equipment around him for years, from listening to his heart to the beeping of the monitors. That prompted his caregivers to let him work alongside for the day, giving him a white coat and official stethoscope.
He's been in the healthcare environment for a long time, and I think has gained some interest in the things that we wear and the things that we do, and expressed that interest to our team. And so we got to share in that today. Put a set of scrubs on him, set a white coat with his name on it, give him a nice stethoscope so that he can work right along with us. And I'm excited for him to round with me at some point soon.
The director for hospice family care, Carissa Proctor, says it's moments like these that help the patient and their family get through a difficult time.
We work together with a team with our physician, but we have social workers and chaplains, and you know, it's so much more than just the disease process. It's trying to figure out how we can make the rest of our life be as good as possible. And sometimes it's not always just physical pain, but it could be spiritual or it could be emotional pain as well. You can really capture moments like this and then moments beyond that, and not just help the patient, but also help the family with what's going on. We can't change what's happening, but we absolutely can change how we get there, and that's what makes the difference.
It was an emotional celebration, with the care staff saying Abubak touches lives in the hospital every single day. Caretakers say for them, it's all about giving back. Students get their chance to lift off their own rocket launch at a challenge fueled by NASA. Take it at Hazel Green. While our eyes are in the sky, Jordan, we do have a FOX54 weather impact alert.
Yeah, especially as we head into the evening and the overnight, when the rain that's currently hanging out across northwest Alabama becomes a little more widespread. Could get a couple of thunderstorms thrown into the mix as well. We'll discuss it in just a minute.
Over County 911, what's the address of your emergency? Okay, your wife is in a bar. You said she's unresponsive.
This is what he's going to tell you. get out of that situation.
And I grabbed the gun.
Trying to find the first place to put a body.
No, sir.
The only thing they could do was kill him.
You want to say anything?
We, the jury, and to find the defendant.
Oh yeah, that was just one of the many rocket launches that took place this afternoon in Hazel Green. It's part of NASA's 2026 student launch. Among the 32 teams included was UAH's team, Charger Rocket Works, who included multiple payloads on this year's rocket. FOX54 got the chance to speak with the team after their rocket had launched to get their thoughts on the rocket's performance and working with so many payloads.
The weather was great. The rocket went together faster than we've ever actually had it go together. Our procedures were on point, and we're really happy with our safety officer for putting that together.
Integration's always really challenging, right? So the most important thing is communication between everybody. We've got 3 primary sub-teams: vehicle, safety, and the payload team. I'm a payload member, so one of the most important things is making sure we're operating safely and documenting everything so that we don't, we dot our I's and cross our T's.
And it wasn't just university teams this year. Middle school and high schools also participated. Watch more from NASA's 2026 student launch right here on demand on Fox 54 Plus. Download on your TV. Watch for free. Oh yeah, quiet now. Cloudy too. Live look over Rainbow Mountain as we prepare for the rain coming our way this weekend. Today was pretty nice and warm. If you had the chance to bask in the warmth before the rain, you made a wise choice. Let's bring in Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman for our forecast.
It was indeed a wise choice to spend a little bit of time outside through the front half of the day, because the front half of the day was fantastic across the Tennessee Valley. We got to enjoy plenty of blue sky, just some fair weather cumulus clouds through the first half of the day. The first half of the day really was a beautiful start to the end of the work week. Now we're talking about a bit of a different story, beginning to see some rain develop across northwest Alabama. Now the vast majority of us are dry. Everybody east of the I-65 corridor is dry this evening, but is eventually going to change. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Lauderdale, Colbert, down into Franklin counties, even seeing a little bit of rain develop across northern Limestone County, up in far north Alabama, kind of across the Alabama-Tennessee state line, and then we're still talking about a fair amount of rain across the Alabama-Mississippi line. A little bit of light rain, Florence down into the Shoals, maybe a little bit of rain beginning to move into Russellville. Still talking about a little bit of rain back into Red Bay as well. None of this activity is particularly intense. It's just a little bit of light rain. Now there is a lot of activity back across the state of Mississippi, and all of this is gradually going to push its way to the east. But as it does push its way to the east, it's going to weaken a little bit. So maybe a couple of claps of thunder, but any sort of threat of severe weather would stay back off to the east, or back off to the west. And even the severe weather chance across the state of Mississippi is basically zero. Now, here's Futurecast as we head into the middle part of the evening. Still tracking a little bit of rain, but Futurecast also tries to bring the rain to a stop as we head into the early part of the overnight. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible through the early and middle part of Saturday morning. So if you are going to be going out through the middle part of Saturday morning, morning, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Grab the umbrella, but it is not going to be a complete and total wash. The rest of Saturday afternoon going to be relatively dry. As a matter of fact, the weekend does not look that bad. The only time period when we're going to get widespread rain is late tonight and then early tomorrow morning. By the time we get to your Monday, we're looking at an area of low pressure and a cold front. Now that could bring some additional rain into the Tennessee Valley, but the models have been having a very difficult time with this. So here's what it looks like right now as more high resolution data begins to come in. Monday is going to be dry. At one point we kind of thought Monday was going to come with some widespread rain. Doesn't look like it's going to be the case anymore. Monday is going to be dry. It's not until we get to the earliest hours of Tuesday morning that we're going to begin to see some showers and thunderstorms develop across the area, primarily across northeast Alabama. Now some of this might pack a bit of a punch with some gusty winds, but it looks like the overall threat for severe weather is quite low. And then from there, we're going to be relatively dry through the later part of Tuesday morning and then as we head into the early part of Tuesday afternoon. There are, however, several other opportunities for rain in the forecast as we head into next week. And by the time we get to next Friday, those rainfall totals could really add up. I think we're overdoing it a little bit as far as 6 or 7 inches is concerned. I think most of us are going to be looking at 3 or 4 inches of rain. Maybe you're heading down to Talladega this weekend, 77 on Saturday, 82 on Sunday for the Jack Links 500, a mix of sunshine and cloud cover. Overall, Sunday actually looks like it's going to be a really nice day. Have a good look at the next 7 days locally across the Tennessee Valley. 77 on Saturday, 79 on Sunday. Again, the weekend not going to be a complete wash. And Monday looks almost completely and totally dry, 82 degrees. And then opportunities for rain Tuesday and Friday of next week could throw in a couple of thunderstorms to the mix as well. No severe weather expected though. 80 on Tuesday, 77 on Wednesday. Now, as we head into the later part of next week, it does look like temperatures are actually going to begin to fall off. 73 on Thursday, 72 degrees by the time we get to next Friday.
The weekend is here, and although we have some rain coming our way, there's still some fun going on throughout the Tennessee Valley. Rain or shine, Panoply is at Big Spring Park for its 44th year this weekend. The festival opened up today at 5 with more than 15 acts scheduled to perform over the weekend. You can find work from more than 115 artists for sale at the Juried Art Market, activities, and so much more for all ages. Tickets are $15 a day or $20 for the weekend pass. Panoply opens at 10 a.m. Saturday and 11 a.m. Sunday. Start your weekend off with some relaxation at Yoga on the Lawn at Village Green. The class is free and starts at 9 a.m. Recharge from the work week, and after you can cool off with local Clift Farm vendors. Bring your mat and prepare for relaxation. And finally, the 87th Annual Strawberry Festival starts today in Coleman. The festival runs through tomorrow and honors the town's long history with strawberries. You can enjoy berry-inspired dishes, games, a doggy pageant, and a berry baking contest. Don't miss it. Gates open at 3 p.m. and music starts at 4. But if none of these events are your style, head on over to FOX54.com for a full list of weekend happenings. We mentioned it, a busy weekend here in the Rocket City, especially in downtown Huntsville. But one event will definitely be the loudest. Oh yeah, rev up that engine, hear that roar. Monster Jam back at the VBC, and among the monster trucks competing will include this Monster Mutt Dalmatian. We got the chance to speak with Blake Granger, driver of the truck, who tells us that a smaller space like the VBC allows for drivers to showcase their skills.
We have a backflip ramp, number one. You get to watch a 12,000-pound Monster Jam truck do a backflip. That's unheard of. You know, it's crazy to think what we're doing in these trucks. But not only that, the two-wheel skills, man, the evolution of what we're able to do when we're balancing these 12,000-pound trucks on the front 2 BKT tires, it's unheard of. And it's not even just two-wheel skills anymore. We're starting on the front 2 tires, and we're comboing the truck onto the rear tires. Sometimes our two-wheel skills runs are 2, 3, or 4 hits all in one.
Yeah, and if you want to see Blake's skills while driving Monster Mutt Dalmatian, check him out at the VBC through Sunday.
A tiger turned titan. Keldrick Falk is making his way up to the Music City. We'll hear from him next in sports.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates, featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True Crime Warrior Style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look, to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
Time now for your look at sports. So far, round one of the 2026 NFL Draft officially in the books. One of the guys being drafted last night having to wait until the second to last pick. Now, edge rusher Keldrick Falk, the Auburn Tiger, turned Tennessee Titan. During his time on the Plains, Falk made the All-SEC freshman team and earned third-team All-SEC honors last season. And last night, he acknowledged his production on the field has gone down a little bit, but is ready to keep working.
I got to finish my plays, and then, like I said, I got to finish on the quarterback a whole lot better than I have been. And, man, going into the next level, that's the biggest thing that I'm working on right now. Really just training myself to drive through the quarterback's legs and, stop tackling so high because I'm a taller guy. So I got to make sure that I'm low and I'm driving through that quarterback to get him on the ground.
All right, round two is underway, happening right now in Pittsburgh. Round three also taking place tonight. Lots of talent still available this late in the draft. National champ from Indiana, cornerback D'Angelo Pons on the board. Georgia State wide receiver Ted Hurst is still available. That's one to watch. South Carolina safety Jalen Kilgore is still one in. Of course, another Auburn edge is still available for teams to pick. That's K'Ron Crawford. So coming up later tonight on Fox 54 News, we'll have more from Pittsburgh in the NFL Draft, who goes where, and we'll hear more from our in-state picks.
Tonight on the late edition of Fox 54 News, high stakes Iran talks move to Pakistan as U.S. officials stand by for a possible breakthrough. New tension in the Strait of Hormuz and fresh strikes in Lebanon raise the stakes. Back here in the Tennessee Valley, a major VBC expansion could bring bigger conventions, more visitors, and a downtown boom for Huntsville. But who pays for it, and how fast could it happen? Rockets filled the sky in Hazel Green as NASA's student launch lifted off inside the high-stakes competition, and how local students from UAH are pushing engineering to new heights. All of these stories and more on the late edition of Fox 54 News. Before we let you go, check this out. The king of pop is moonwalking into theaters. Michael, the new biopic inspired by the life and music of Michael Jackson, officially opens today. The movie stars the music legend's nephew, Jafar Jackson, as Michael. Tune in to Fox 54 News at 10 to hear from Fox 54 weather impact meteorologist Emily Owen discuss trending topics on the movie. And we want to hear from you. Go to fox54.com and tell us what your favorite song is. That is tough because there are a lot of songs that I like from Michael Jackson, like Pretty Young Thing from the 80s to the 2000s. I can't choose one right now.
No, it kind of seems like you're avoiding the question by saying that all of Michael Jackson's songs are great, but all of Michael Jackson's songs are great.
It's hard to pick a favorite.
I would say it's next to impossible, which is why I will not. I feel like there are very few artists in the modern era who have had all of their songs be somewhat iconic. Radar still picking up on a little bit of rain across northwest Alabama, Lauderdale, Colbert, down into Franklin County, beginning to see some of that rain push its way into Limestone County. Now there's some more thunderstorm activity hanging out across the state of Mississippi, gradually weakening as it pushes its way east, but we all are going to get rain as we head into the overnight.
All right, have that umbrella. We'll see you on our late edition of Fox 54 News.